10, 9, 8, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engines running, commit, liftoff. We have no point.
Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Launchpad Space Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Ring. Earlier this week, I was invited to a special media preview of a new exhibition debuting this month called Space Adventure Boston. David Rosenfeld, one of the producers of the exhibit, gave me a tour.
Space Adventure, an exhibit created, it's an original exhibit created, it's a partnership with Cosmosphere Studios, it's a space museum in Kansas. And NASA as well, where we sort of licensed a lot of their material and artifacts that was used and went to the moon in the Apollo program and everything, and then we kind of created an exhibit around that with different immersive spaces and movies and things of that nature. So we kind of created a complete exhibit with some of their things and artifacts, right? Boston is the opening, the premiere for the United States.
Nice.
It's been done internationally in Brazil. And Boston's going to be, well, it is already. We just opened the first one in the U.S., the premiere, and we're very excited because we think it's a great exhibit and a great place.
This is kind of, it's tough because I'm doing a podcast about space exploration history, but I'm in, the Northeast. It's kind of like a bit of a, I wouldn't say desert, but it's, because you have MIT and places like that, but it's like still, there's not a lot of, you don't get to see a lot of artifacts. Like we had the Freedom 7 capsule at the JFK Library for a bit, but that's gone now. So it's like
it's kind of a way like where to bring the things to the people, right? Where they don't have to get on a plane and go to DC or Houston or Cape Canaveral or different space museums around the country. It's kind of here for them to see and enjoy. So that's kind of the idea. And there's other things around it. We have a movie theater. We have different things to complement.
Oh, sure.
The things to make it kind of a complete experience. So it's a fun exhibit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So basically, the first thing we do is there's a video, a short film that we watch that everybody watches when they walk into the exhibit, which is kind of gets you in the mood and kind of gets the blood going before you're experiencing the exhibit. So that's kind of the first area that we kind of go into, that the public goes into before entering or while they enter the experience.
Okay, cool. And just so I can make sure I get this in, how long is this going to be here?
It's going to be here initially for 2 months.
Okay.
January, February, so for 2 months.
Okay, cool. And where's it moving on after this?
We're either going to go from here to Chicago or Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, so since it's original items, we have over 300 original items in the Apollo program. We could only do one at a time, right? Because we got to travel together. It's going to go to one of those two cities.
That's cool.
And the idea is it's going to be touring around the country for the next couple of years.
I see, yeah.
Pictures, all different pictures of it. Information of what it is, how it's 45 feet in height, all that, and now you can kind of click each part and it'll tell you, the detonation ports, what each part of the rocket and everything does. So throughout the whole exhibit, you'll see, and then different videos of it. So throughout the exhibit for everything you have these. So you can kind of learn about it, see pictures, videos, see what each part of in this case the rocket does and all that.
Very cool.
Yeah. Original items, right?
Okay.
So all this is placed and handled by the museum, by NASA, by Cosmosphere. They come in and place everything because they're very valuable things.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
So with regards to the Liberty Bell, what it does, flew on Mercury, we want to have different information about it. And then throughout the rest of the room you have the helmets, and then there's tags that says who they belong to, who used the helmet. There's different areas, right? So you see up here rockets, then you see over there photography, food, astronauts, right?
Cool. Yeah.
So that everything is divided into different sections, right? So the first part is obviously the astronauts. We have different spacesuits. So you have there, Buzz Aldrin's is actually there.
Oh, wow.
So if you kind of walk over there.
Sure.
And see that. So this one here in the back is Buzz Aldrin's.
Okay. Okay.
And gloves and everything, and here the same idea, right? You can find out, okay, air exhaust valve, what each part of the suit is, photos, the suit.
Well, that's
the video, kind of putting it on.
Yeah, that's an older command module pilot suit too. Because it's only got the three valves on it.
So this is kind of what kind of this room in general is. You have different, here you have boots. Actually, there's one that's really cool. It still has the rock, moon rocks on it.
Oh, cool.
You have it here. This was Apollo 15.
Oh, okay.
It still has moon dust.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And it's still got the authenticity tag. You can kind of see the mirror on the bottom. You can see the bottom of the boot with that. Sure. This is kind of cool.
Food.
The food, right?
That's another thing I'm interested in too.
Yeah, this is, the food, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. You see roast beef, chicken and gravy, and how it's packaged and how they eat it.
Yeah.
Lemonade, look at the coffee. It's not very appetizing seeing it like this.
Yeah.
But it kind of puts things.
It's also about 50 years old too.
Yeah. Well, it kind of puts things into perspective too.
Definitely.
How they had to consume these things, right?
Yeah.
And the meals and what they ate and how they came and how they ate them.
Nice.
So in the middle you have photographs that they took with these cameras.
Nice.
It's not things. They're not really photographs that you could see anywhere, right? So the originals and kind of around are the cameras used to take these photographs, which are really cool.
Yeah, those are amazing.
So we're doing any other stuff in other states, if you meet any of these guys, ask them the fun stuff, the gadgets they got, the training, or stuff that was done off camera.
The exhibit basically is a partnership and creation between us and Cosmosphere Studios, and which licenses the product, the artifacts, and everything. and we kind of created this all-in-one exhibit where you could kind of see original artifacts that went to the moon and space and everything, aside from different spaces like movie spaces, interactive spaces, immersive spaces, all in one for kind of for people of all ages, and people to see original things, but also have a good time and learn in a different way, and where you don't have to get on a plane and go to DC or Houston or any other space museum in the country, and you have it here in Boston for all to see.
How did you go about? Or I don't know if you were part of it, but how were the artifacts picked for this exhibit?
So basically, Cosmosphere, they kind of picked them and say this is what we have available, and that's the kind of the set that we're touring around with. Again, the exhibit is to commemorate man's arrival on the moon, right? So it's all about that, right? So all the artifacts having to do with those programs, that's kind of what is chosen to be on display.
So this is going to be through February?
Yes. For now, it's open through the end of February, Wednesday through Sundays. We have tickets for people of all ages, from kids to adults to senior citizens to military, all different forms, variety of tickets and options for everybody. From Wednesday through Sunday through the end of February.
How is the Cosmosphere kind of involved in here on site? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Very involved. They're actually the ones that have to come in. They were here in Boston. They come in and place the artifacts and the items in their respective cases. They handle all the artifacts. They're the only ones that do that. But they're very involved. They're very involved in the layout, how everything is presented, and what is presented and where. They're very involved and have a big say in what goes on.
Now this has got some really great videos too. Can you tell me how those came together? I mean, those are really great stuff, especially the beginning one where you're basically you're standing in front of astronauts who are pretty much life size in the bouncing around on the moon in their spacesuits. It's really incredible. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the main attraction, people are going to want to see the artifacts and the original items. But I think, where we think that, and we thought that, we needed to give it more, right? To tell a story and to make it an experience, right?
Right.
So that's kind of what we did, right? The intro, the video really gets you into the mood before you see everything, and then we have the Houston control room, which is another video and educational, and you can kind of see the real board. Then you have a launch into the moon, which is an immersive space where the floor moves as if you're on the rocket itself. Then you land on the moon. So around the artifacts and seeing those things, there's different areas and different things to experience and to see and to do. That kind of gives you the whole feeling of traveling to space. So we thought that was important, and we're very happy with how it came out. The kids would love it.
I'm sure.
That sense of that they're on a rocket going to space, right, and going to the moon. So it's kind of gives you that feeling, and it's nice. It's a nice, break in between to break things up throughout the course of the experience in the exhibit.
So this is actually, speaking of kids, this is going to be great for like February vacation. I think I'm guessing you'll probably be packed for that.
That's the idea. Yeah, no, I mean, of course, you have February vacation, which is big, and it's going to be a big, promotional for us, like marketing wise, to bring people in. We are devising ways to get to get the word out to kids and to schools and to things of that nature as well, and to parents, especially now when it's cold and snowing and stuff like that. Looking for things to do inside. This is perfect.
Yeah, indeed.
Option.
Yeah, we just got snow last night, so it's appropriate. I mean, I wish they had something this immersive and this fascinating when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It was only 40 years ago, but it's like it's just amazing. So was there anything that you guys wanted to do that maybe you didn't get a chance to do here for this exhibit?
I mean, I guess there's always things that, like, after the fact, you kind of, we could have done this, and, it would have been cool to do that. And we still are adding things, after you open it up, you see, okay, why don't we do this here? Or we add this here, or even it could be something as, simple as, different sounds in different areas or something like that. But yeah, I mean, there's always things that we're tweaking and improving and stuff throughout, because, when you're somewhere for a few months, you got to adapt, right? So
yeah, I think so.
But I think overall we're happy with how it came out. I think so far we've been open for a week almost, and everyone, we've had great reviews, and so I think overall there's always things to better and to add and stuff like that. But overall we're happy.
Good turnouts for the week so far.
Opening week we had a good turnout, obviously, and the weekend obviously the weekends are more popular, but the opening weekend we Saturday was basically a full day, which was great. Everybody left happy. One thing to really the store at the end of the exhibit is really great. You get all the NASA gear and shirts and hats and mugs and all the stuff that everybody loves wearing and buying. We have here as well, so that's kind of like a good way to end it, the cherry on top.
Yeah, it's actually a big thing nowadays. I've seen a lot of people wearing NASA who I kind of don't suspect are big space fans, but they love the NASA
exactly.
Look.
Wear the NASA stuff, and they probably don't even know much about space, but it's kind of cool, right? So here at the store, you're able to get all that stuff.
Can I just ask you to give me your give people your pitch for coming here? Just kind of.
Yeah, I mean, 30,000 square feet of space. NASA, are over 300 original artifacts that went to the moon, that were on the Apollo program, that be able to see all that. We have virtual reality, VR spaces, immersive spaces, things for kids, things for adults, things for everybody. It's really a way to, get out or get in and see these things here in Boston and not have to get on a plane and go to DC to the Space Museum or go to other museums, in Houston or wherever else to go see these things that we brought them to you, right? So it's here in Boston and Massachusetts and in Chelsea, and we have tickets, accessible tickets for all different levels and kinds of people, kids, adults, senior citizens, like I mentioned, military, and we're excited. We'll be here for a couple months and hoping to see everybody here.
Cool. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it. And best of luck with the exhibit. I think it's going to be a success. At least if I have anything to say about it.
We hope so. Thank you so much.
Thanks. That was David Rosenfeld, one of the producers of the Space Adventure Boston exhibit. For more information on tickets and hours, you can go to spaceadventure.us. And this has been a special edition of the Launchpad Space Podcast. We'll be back with one of our regular scheduled programs. Next time I'll be talking with Stacy Morgan, who is the wife of astronaut Drew Morgan, and we'll be talking about her new book, The Astronaut's Wife. Until then, wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time on the Launchpad Space Podcast.